CWNP CWNA-109 exam practice questions with explanations are available in the video for you to study. During a post-deployment survey for a VoE Wi-Fi network, which action best validates call quality while roaming across coverage areas? A. Using a single wireless adapter to scan every active channel for protocol analysis. B. Maintaining a live voice session or tone while walking through different zones. C. Mapping DSCP values on the handset to specific 802.11e access categories. D. Verifying that VHT capabilities can sustain traffic from a single voice handset. The answer is B. A post-deployment validation for voice requires confirming that real-time audio remains stable during movement across cells. The best way to test this is by keeping an active call or tone running as you roam so that packet delay, jitter, and roaming transitions can be evaluated under true operating conditions. Passive or protocol-based scanning cannot reflect real call behavior. COS mapping is helpful but does not test mobility, and VHT capacity is irrelevant since VoIP consumes minimal bandwidth. This makes active conversational testing the most reliable verification method. Which tunneling technologies can transport 802.11 user traffic from access points to centralized controllers or servers? A. IPsec. B. GRE. C. CAPWAP. D. VRRP. The answer is ABC. Several encapsulation methods allow APs to forward user data to back-end systems. IPsec can secure an entire tunnel. GRE offers a lightweight encapsulation often used between network devices, and CAPWAP is an industry-standard protocol specifically designed for AP-to-controller communications. VRRP is not a tunneling protocol. It handles router redundancy rather than traffic transport. Because of this, only IPsec, GRE, and CAPWAP are applicable tunneling methods for 802.11 traffic. In controller-based WLAN deployments, how is user traffic typically forwarded? A. Distributed forwarding. B. Autonomous forwarding. C. Proxy forwarding. D. Centralized forwarding. The answer is D. Many traditional controller architectures route all client traffic through a centralized control point, allowing unified security inspection, policy enforcement, and mobility handling. This is known as centralized forwarding. Distributed or autonomous forwarding refers to AP-driven switching at the edge, which is more common in modern distributed or cloud-managed designs. Older controller solutions, however, rely on a central data plane, making centralized forwarding the correct description. When validating a deployed VoE Wi-Fi network, which type of assessment must be included? A. Locating RF interferers using a spectrum analyzer. B. Examining channel assignments for improper hopping patterns. C. Reviewing protocol activity from neighboring WLANs. D. Running a live voice call while analyzing application performance. The answer is D. Voice over Wi-Fi performance must be evaluated at the application layer, not merely at RF or protocol layers. This requires placing a call and moving through the environment to observe call stability, jitter, and transitions between APs. Spectrum and protocol analysis provide useful supplemental data but do not directly test user-perceived voice behavior. Therefore, active application-level assessment with a handset is the required action. In long-distance wireless links, what does fade margin represent? A. Extra signal strength engineered to tolerate unpredictable fading effects. B. A value that matches the receiver's antenna gain. C. A margin that becomes unnecessary when most of the Fresnel zone is clear. D. A measure of free space attenuation over distance. The answer is A. Fade margin is the additional RF budget intentionally added to compensate for fading conditions such as weather variability, atmospheric effects, and multipath. It is not tied to antenna gain, nor does Fresnel zone clearance eliminate the need for margin. Free space loss is a separate calculation. Designing proper fade margin ensures reliability during worst-case environmental fluctuations. When VoE Wi-Fi devices use 802.1x EAP authentication, what feature minimizes roaming-related delays? A. Inter-access point protocol. B. Fast BSS transition. 802.11r. C. Distributed coordination function. D. Roaming coordination function. The answer is B. 802.11r. Fast BSS transition shortens the authentication process by allowing clients to pre-establish key material, thus reducing interruption during AP transitions. This is critical for latency-sensitive applications such as voice, where even short delays can degrade call quality. Other listed options either do not exist or do not address roaming authentication delays. Therefore, fast BSS transition is the proper solution. Which outcomes are typical consequences of multipath interference? A. Scattering delay. B. Upfade. C. Excessive retransmissions. D. Absorption. The answer is B. C. Multipath can cause both constructive interference, upfade, and detrimental effects like corrupted frames, leading to retries. Excessive retransmissions occur because reflected signals may arrive out of phase and distort the received waveform. Absorption is a separate RF phenomenon, not caused by multipath. Scattering delay is not a standard term for multipath effects. Thus, upfade and retransmissions are the correct results. Why can multiple clients in a 2.4 GHz 802.11 NBSS not achieve the maximum theoretical data rate simultaneously? A. Half of the channel is reserved for uplink and half for downlink. B. All frames must be acknowledged, and the medium is shared. C. Receivers cannot process incoming frames at maximum rates. DAP uplink speed is insufficient, even on a 1 Gbps port. The answer is B. 802.11 uses a contention-based, half-duplex medium where every transmitted unicast frame requires an ACK. Multiple stations must share airtime, causing each to operate below peak PHY rates. The bottleneck is not the wired network or receiver hardware but the shared nature of the wireless medium itself. As the number of active clients increases, available throughput per client decreases accordingly. A VoIP phone connected to a mid-span PO injector does not provide a classification signature. How much power will the injector allocate by default? A 12.95 W, B 4.0 W, C 7.0 W, D 15.4 W. The answer is D. When a PD-powered device fails to advertise a classification signature, the PSE treats it as a Class 0 device. Class 0 devices are allocated the maximum baseline power allowed under 802.3 AF, 15.4 watts at the PSE output. This ensures compatibility with unknown devices but can increase total power budget consumption. Lower class values would only be used if the device provided proper classification. Which measurements are typically gathered during indoor RF coverage analysis? A. Received signal strength. B. Signal-to-noise ratio. C. Noise level. D. Packet loss. E. Path loss. The answer is ABCD. Indoor validation focuses on quantifying how reliably the RF environment supports client connectivity. RSSI, SNR, and noise level are foundational RF metrics, while packet loss reflects real-world transmission reliability. Path loss is mainly used in link budget calculations and outdoor predictive modeling, not routine indoor coverage verification. Therefore, the primary indoor measurements include signal strength, noise, SNR, and packet loss.